Welcome to DCL Talk Show. You are listening on DCL Radio, our weekend where we have break. And so, what we are going to do tonight is analyze all the games played last weekend. And next week, what we will do is we will do mid-season analysis as well predictions. So, um, I'll straight away introduce our guests of the night. Dinesh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jagan bro. Hello, all listeners. Welcome to another weekend of DCL radio analysis. Happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Welcome to the show, Abhi.
Hey, Jagan. Thank you. A big hello to all the listeners. Welcome to yet another show of DCL Radio. Another set of 12 games played last week. Most of the teams who played last week had some issues updating the score sheets online, I suppose. Something that concerned group is already looking into it. Most of the teams had to jump into the good old ways of scoring. Captains were running around for finding a pen and a paper. So,
True. Yeah.
not much data again apart from the scorecard that were put out. So we'll try my best. Let's get into the discussion of what happened. So over to you, Jagan.
Welcome to the show, Imti.
Thank you, Jagan. Welcome to all our listeners to this another episode of DCL Talk Show on DCL Radio. Welcome, Abhi and Dinesh. Glad to be here, and we'll discuss the games. It's almost midway through the season, so a lot of exciting stuff. So we'll get into the games.
Okay, so I'll straight away jump into last week games, and I'll start with the game FCC Agni versus Indus Thunder. Actually, I wanted to start. We have another. See, there's an additional game that happened on Monday, Dynamites versus Thunderbolts. We will have discussion on that one at the end. Okay, I'll start with FCC Agni versus Indus Thunders with Imti.
Yeah, yes, Jagan. So this game, I was hoping some fight from me, but looks like it ended in a one-sided affair. Nevertheless, I think Indus Thunder tried too many things, chasing that low total. Eventually, they won the game, but for the loss of 5 wickets. So if you look at the details, Agni batting first, were able to only score 29 runs, although they played almost entire 19 overs. They really couldn't get any decent score on the board. Again, thanks to some brilliant bowling performances, looks like Dinesh Panditi bowled just 2 overs, both maidens. Rahul Shukla picking 3 wickets. Madhusudan Haveri picking 3 wickets, and then Jalaj and Praveen also chipping in wickets. So it was constant pressure from the bowling. Really, in the batting, nobody got going. All the single-digit scores. They scored 29, out of which 8 were extra, so it's like 20 runs scored off the bat. So with 29 to chase in the Thunders, it was walk in the park. But somehow they tinkered with the batting lineup, looks like, and sorry to say, but Abhishek went opening but couldn't score. I would have hoped him and Aniruddha just to finish the chase, but that didn't happen. They lost some wickets up front, maybe trying to be too aggressive or too adventurous. Lost 5 wickets, and then it was up to Praveen Mandera scoring those 17 runs with 1 6 and finishing the game off in 10 overs. So, all in all, good win. Nothing serious concern here for Thunders, but Agni, I think, needs to pull up their socks. So.
Yeah, thanks, Imti. It's good to see Dinesh Panditi coming back to bowling because I heard he has some injury. But before I go to our next game, and this week I thought of starting a new segment which I forgot. That is called all our analysts pick their top 3 players of the weekend. Okay, let me get that information first and jump to the game. Okay, Imti, who are your top 3 picks?
Well, considering all the games that were played last week, my top 3 picks are Tejas, Shantigowda, Arun Swaminathan, and Suresh Balakrishnan from Dynamites. Arun Swaminathan also from Dynamites.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Dinesh, your top 3.
Yeah, Vamshi from FCC, then Arun Swaminathan from Dynamite, and Mahesh Babu from Bulls, right? Bulls. So these
Yeah,
3 guys.
Bulls. Mahesh Babu is from Bulls. Good. Abhi.
Yeah, for me, it's Raza Ali, Sterling strikers, Karthik, Jayakumar, and then Arun Saminathan.
Okay, with that, we'll get into our second game of the night, FCC versus Canton 11. I thought it will be a tight fight, but FCC dominated this game. Your thoughts, Dinesh?
Yeah, so this is one of those games where I thought Canton 11 might do well. And as Abhi mentioned, looks like Crickland's issue, not much details other than the full scorecard. So not sure who won the toss, but FCC batted first. Pratik and Satish, really happy from the bottom of my heart. Very happy to see these two guys open and do well. Have played along with them a few years ago, and they've been playing together for a few years, and that showed. I think great understanding. They had a wonderful partnership. Pratik, 14 out of 20, then Satish Kumar, 27 out of 44. So they put up a good opening partnership. Then one drop came Vinay Raju, 15 from 21, good contribution. Same with Nishant and Prabhu, 16 from 13 and 14 from 23 respectively. Then Vamsi Krishna comes and gives the finishing touches, 30 from 14 balls with a strike rate of 214 with 3 sixes. Looks like he might have gotten stuck into Adarsh. What a pretty bad day on the bowling front. From a bowling perspective, Bilal no wickets, but Anand, Mohammad, and Javed Bhai all took 2 wickets each. Considering that 132 was scored, I think those 3 guys did bowl well. Kalpesh was not his day. So, as I said, FCC ended up with 132 runs. So, absolute pressure, I believe, for Canton 11. Chasing anything over 100 is difficult, and if you anything more than 120, you start off on the back foot. And Adarsh and Javed Bhai started pretty decent enough start, but nothing much to write home for Adarsh. Javed Bhai stuck in and did what he usually does, 11 from 29. He tried to see what he could do, but unfortunately, other than Javed Bhai, there was nothing else to write home about. Hari Pallava and Rupinder tried to redirect the innings along with Mohammad, both of them, but still they fell short, pretty nastily short, I should say. They lost by 72 runs. They ended up scoring 62 in 18 overs. They couldn't even bat the 25 overs. That's a big disappointment for Canton 11. From a bowling front, Karthik, Amit, and Teju, all of them picked up 2 wickets. Vamshi comes in to finish off his wonderful day, 2 overs for 4 runs and 2 wickets. So I did pick him, one of the top performers for the week, considering what Canton 11 are known for. And FCC, I wouldn't call them that they were the least favorites, but they did have to put up against an experienced Canton 11 side. And kudos to Vamshi, Pratik, and Satish and company. Congrats, FCC. Better luck next time, Canton 11. Hoping they can come back strong.
Okay, the next game of the night is KRCC versus Hitman. And I heard after scoring that many runs, Tamim Oni took rest, and I heard he slept in the dugout. so, so your thoughts, Abhi?
Not surprising, Tamim. One of their players is sitting in the ground after having 170 on board. Well, this game, Hitman winning the toss and electing to bowl, I would say a brave move to chase against a strong bowling unit like KRCC, but it didn't pay off well for them. KRCC, on the other hand, put to bat, had a very good outing. The scorecard looks super strong. Hemant Bharadwaj again getting off with a flyer of 12 runs from just 8 balls, 2 boundaries in that 12. Yogesh Bhai scoring well for 17 from 14. You don't see Yogesh Bhai coming opening, so it's a good to see him leading from the front. And I can imagine that these two spent a short time, but they took the score into 30s before the loss of the first wicket. The middle order did good amount of scoring for the team. Tamim Oni scoring 29 from 21 with 3 sixes. Malik scoring 28 from 24 with 2 sixes. Jesse Bai with steady 25, and Ziban and Ashish with 11 and 16. So there's so many batsmen on the scoring side. And in addition to that, Hitman conceding 17 extras is like, it's more like bowling 3 extra overs. And it's definitely not a good sign. The bowling unit went for a lot of runs, the bowling unit of Hitman. The top two bowlers conceding at 13 and 11 runs per over. That's just way above normal in this format. We don't see that often. Kudos to Philip Thomas. A special mention to him for squeezing out his 5 overs with just 15 runs and 2 wickets, and also Aditya Ramesh Gopal, and who was on the side of picking wickets. He picked up 4 wickets in his 5 over spell. So these are the only two bowlers from Hitman who did things and who tried turning things around for them. The other bowlers were hit so bad that they conceded around 140 odd runs of the 170, and these two bowlers just conceded around 35 runs. So that's how bad Hitman bowling was actually. 171 runs is a huge score to chase down. Most of the times the team chasing will be blanked out even before the chase starts, because you don't even know how to approach to such a big mammoth score. And Hitman's batsmen were no different here. Almost all the batsmen returning without much scores to their bats. Aditya Srinivasan, the lone fighter, scoring 18 from 19 balls. I think a couple of boundaries to him. Now, Hitman bowling, the KRCC bowling were spot on. I don't see Tamim bowling itself tells a story where he was sleeping in the ground, taking rest. And all the bowlers being very economical. Mufassir Ali being the pick of the bowlers with 4 wickets in his 5 overs, 3 wickets to Jesse Bai, and Satish Tyagi picking to another 2 in his 5 over spell. What's not very impressive from KRCC unit is them conceding 24 runs in extras. That's way too many extras bowled for the quality of bowling side that the KRCC is. Something probably I'm pretty sure they'll definitely look into. But a convincing win for KRCC with 170 runs on board, and Hitman taking all the thrashing from this game, the points, and also the points table as well. They're pushed down to 9th with this loss. So I hope they come back pretty strong, and good luck to both the teams.
Just when I thought KRCC versus Hitman was mm, is was game of the weekend, and the next one I see is MCC Miles versus Safaris, and it's almost 100 runs difference there. Your thoughts, Imti?
Yes, again, NCC Miles had a great outing. They won the game with a huge margin of 98 runs. Again, it kind of ended up as a one-sided affair. Safaris was doing so well with some very good games until this week, but I think this game it really did not go in their favor at all. So, going into details again, with one brave move from Safaris, they're winning the toss and getting to bowl. I think that is where they kind of miscalculated. And in the beginning, when MCC Miles went into bat, I think they got both the openers out for duck, and it kind of looked like their tactic was working. But then I think uh, the partnership between Karthik and Praneeth kind of set the foundation for MCC Miles. Kudos to Karthik for his innings of 39 runs from 56 balls. No boundaries there, so I can imagine the amount of effort that he put into scoring those 39 runs and staying there and steadying the innings. Uh, Again, with that foundation laid, I think the batsmen following him just could come out and express themselves, and that's what exactly happened. Hemant, Sanjay, Rahul, all scoring a considerable amount of runs with 100 plus strike rate, and Sanjay Longan went for 33, scored 33 runs with 4 sixers, and just allowed the freedom for them to score those quick runs, and they ended up scoring 155 at the end of 25 overs. On the bowling for Safaris, pick up the bowler Kshitij, 5 overs, two wickets for 15 runs, and a couple of wickets being shared by Swarna Rahul and Uday Teja, but again on the expensive side, I guess. Almost 7 bowlers used to stop the flow of runs, but could not really flow the stem of runs from bats of Sanjay and Rahul Chena there. Going into bat, chasing 155, formidable, very, very huge task. Safaris didn't get the start that they were hoping for, lost their openers out cheaply, and then after that it was just the wickets falling at regular intervals, no resistance from any of the batsmen. Kshitij again, like trying to steady the innings, but again got out too soon, and they ended up at 57 in less than 15 overs, out of which 16 extras. Again, like you take those 16 extras out, it's 40 runs scored from the bat. So again, the scoreboard pressure definitely showing on Safari is there in their players. But really scoring 150, chasing 155 was a huge task for them. Bowling from MJG Miles again, very good figures there for Mahesh, 3 wickets. Then Sunil and Hemant also sharing a couple of wickets each. So all in all, a very convincing win from MCC Miles, and looks like their season is up and running, and they're getting some good wins. So.
Okay, the next game of the night, in my opinion, this is um, the best game as of today in 2022. Is what I'm labeling it, and with that, I'll go to Dinesh. Dinesh, your thoughts?
So Diarrhea versus Dynamites. Diarrhea won the toss and elected to bat. Murugan and Arun Saminathan opened the bowling for Dynamites. So Raghav and Shivang, the opening partnership, nothing much to write about. 7 runs is what they were able to make. Then Shivang and Chandrasekhar, they put up a decent enough partnership considering that it was a quick turnaround for the openers. Then after that, another quick wicket. Then Anupam and Anupam and I believe Satyajit, they put together a decent enough partnership to steady it. So Chandrasekhar scored 10 of 16, and Satyajit 10 out of 18. Then after that, couple of quick wickets. Then Rai came in with 10 out of 24. Was the lone one in the middle to hold things up. Then Arpan 6 out of 15. Then at the very end, Harsh coming in and using his skills, a long handle, I believe. 19 of 16 with 3 fours and 1 6. Got them to 88. Dynamites bowled well considering the situation that they're coming back. They're coming from some pretty bad losses through the beginning of the season. So they bowled well, especially Arun Saminathan, 5 overs, 12 runs for 3 wicket for 12 runs. Karthik, 3 wickets for 21 runs from 4 overs. Then Suresh ended up with 3 wickets, 15 runs from 4.1 overs. So pretty good performance by Dynamites, getting Diarrhea out for 88 in 24.1 overs. So then coming in, I think Dynamites might have been nervous considering whatever has happened in their previous games. Arun Saminathan leading the way. 42 from 64 is what he scored out of the 89 which Dynamites eventually got. So he was the lone fighter, the only guy who got into second digits, and a significant amount of second digit runs there, 42 out of 89. Nothing much happening. Karthik gave a little bit of support for opening along with Arun Saminathan. Then nothing much to write about till Vijay Kumar Gabriel came and scored 6 out of 16 balls. And so did Kashyap, 7 out of 16 balls. Those two partnerships, they helped guide it along with Arun. Then later came Sai and Vijay to finish things off. Considering that they lost 8 wickets, by no means a comfortable win. And whatever has happened in the past in the season for Dynamites, I think they would have been pretty relieved to have chased this down. Pick up the bowlers here, Arpan, Raghav, and Keshav, all of them along with Sandesh got 2 wickets each. Again, low scoring affair, so the economy was pretty reasonable for everyone. Well played Dynamites, and a great game by both Diarrhea and Dynamites. So as Jagan put it, it's this is what DCL is known for, at least in the past. This low-scoring, tight games is what it is, and this one lived up to the expectations. So congrats to Dynamites on their first win.
Yeah, after very long gap, okay,
Yeah.
DCL is going to get some money for not updating the score sheet. Okay, that's Phantom versus Detroit Titans. Both teams failed to update the scorecard the scorecard locks on Tuesday, and after they have, I mean, every team has to update their scores before Tuesday, and if they fail to update that one, it's an automatic fine. Okay. I
Okay.
know this weekend, cricket clubs didn't work. It didn't work for anybody in the world, not just for us. So obviously everybody did paper scoring. I'm
Yeah.
sure these guys have completed their game, and the score, phantom score says 28 for 4, and Titans says 64 for 1 in 8.5. But when you go into the scorecard, Titans played 9.3 overs or something like that. Okay, nothing got reflected here. So, Abhi, if you want to talk about this game, we can talk. Otherwise, we can skip.
No,
It's up to you.
I'll just put in the points that I thought I could get. I tried pulling it as much as possible.
Yeah.
The Phantoms winning the toss and electing to bat. I mean, I felt that Phantoms were pushed onto the back foot with a very, very slow start. Not much score of the top three batsmen, even after spending enough time on the field. The top three scoring, the top three, the top three batsmen playing 10 balls. The second batsman, Rajesh Koduru, the captain, playing 19 balls. Raj Makani, 21 balls. So, these batsmen were set by then. But the Titans bowlers, they bowled some. I felt that they bowled some good spells. Sahesh Bhai and Satish Gaba starting off the proceedings for the Titans. Just 14 runs of those two. Vinit Kumar, an amazing 5 over spell for him. 5 overs, 2 maidens, and picking up 4 wickets. Well bowled to Vinit. And Prakash also bowling at a very good economy, just 7 runs in his 4 overs. Phantoms didn't have much score on the board to defend 65 runs. I wonder where the 65 runs came from, because like Jagan mentioned, the score was not complete. With the score sheet, the numbers that I have in front of me, I would analyze. I think there would just be 30, 40 runs. So the 25, 30 runs, I don't know where they came from, but 65 to chase down for Titans. I think they're very confident to see to the end. Excellent start by their openers Rupesh and Mayur. Run a ball 22 from Rupesh and 20 from Mayur. These two almost took the game home before the first wicket was lost. 12 extras from Phantom bowlers, despite having a low score, is not very impressive. 8 bowlers used by Phantom, and almost all of them going for runs. 65 runs, way too less for Phantoms to defend, and Titans top order just walking over their bowling unit easily without any trouble. So again, not much to talk about with our scorecard here, but good win for Titans.
Okay, the next game of the night is another, great game that happened this weekend. Stars versus GLCC. Uh, Imti is the captain of Stars. So, your thoughts?
Yes, again, just before going into this game, I think just going back to the Dynamite versus Tiger game, I think all of us analysts here picked Arun Sarnavan as a top pick for the week, right? So I just wanted to stress on that point, that highlighting his performance, Dynamite's first, considering that it was the first win for Dynamites and it was a close encounter, chased down with 8 wickets. I think that was the crucial knock from Arun Sarnavan, 42 runs. So that's why it qualifies as a top pick. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Okay, going into this game, Stars versus GLCC, a much anticipated game over the weekend. Two teams trying to stand their authority in the Pool B, but as expected, GLCC was the favorites and they came out victorious. So, going into the details of the game, Stars batted first, winning the toss. Lost the openers quite quickly, but then a good partnership between Raviteja and Shanmugam kind of steadied the innings. Raviteja scoring 28 from 45 balls, Shan scoring run a ball 14 runs. But then an unfortunate run out that got the wicket of Shan again opened up the gates for for GLCC. But then Siddharth also showed some resistance, putting up a very good partnership with Raviteja Reddy. At the time of the break, the score was around 50 for 4 in a very good position. But again, like once the second half of the innings, once Raviteja got out, I think it was again like the same usual story that Stars has been going through this season. Quick wickets of Deepak and Venki after that, and suddenly the scoreboard reads 62 for 7 or something like that. And then when I went in, I tried to stay in there and also score runs at the same time, but ran out of partners and eventually ended up getting all out for 89. Another instance where Stars couldn't complete the full 25 overs. and getting out for a very below par score of 89. Again, a very good bowling from GLCC. I thought, even though some of their main bowlers went for runs without wickets, I think Akash Patel bowled brilliantly for his 4 wickets from his 5 overs, and then well supported by Tejas with 3 wickets, keeping with 3 wickets. All in all, 89 was again a decent score considering the bowling lineup of Stars. Like again, in the previous game, Stars defended 70 odd runs against Patriots. Obviously, not the same likes of GLCC batting, but still, it was a good score up there. And GLCC, I think, really responded well. Tejas on the top of the order just took to the attack and he started scoring runs at will, I thought. And again, even though he got like minimal support from the top order batsmen, I think the crucial partnership between Tejas and Akash for the 4th wicket, they put up close to 45 runs, and I think that really took the game away from Stars. Stars tried too many things, but nothing was going in their favor. And I think when they could break the 4th wicket partnership, it was too late in the game. Again, nothing much to talk in the bowling there. Raviteja picked up the bowlers, picking 3 wickets, and all the other bowlers, even though they tried their best, couldn't really stop the run flow from Tejas' bat. A very, very brilliant innings from Tejas, I thought, scoring 52 runs. He got his 50 on the very last ball of the chase, and I think in the end it looks like a very convincing win, even though the scoreboard doesn't tell it. But it was a very convincing win for GLCC.
Before I go to our next game, I just would like to give an update on Corporate Cricket League that's happening, game happening between Ford and GM. The score, Ford scored 90 for 5 in 8 overs, still continuing, but losing 5 wickets is really bad. And at this time, the projected score is 225. Vaibhav Khanna and Santosh Ramaswamy, these two are batting. Okay, with that, we'll go to our next game, which is another good game, very close game. Detroit Bulls vs Strikers. Dinesh, your thoughts?
Yeah, so raring to go. The Bulls won the toss and elected to bat first. Gaurav fell early, opening along with the Vijay, but after that, Vijay and Gino steadied and got the score up to 34 runs. Then Vijay fell along with Gino. Then came Mahesh Babu and Arun. They put together a wonderful partnership there. Mahesh Babu scoring 39 out of 39. 1 4 and 2 6s. Kudos to him. He held that innings together at a good rate as well. So Arun supported him along with Sandeep and later from Jagdeshwara and Dhanaraj. All of them propelled the score to 121. Pretty impressive considering that the Strikers have got the knack of bowling teams out or keeping the teams under the lid with their bowling. The special performances in the bowling, Binod Singh, 5 overs, 11 runs for 2 wickets. Then Rahul Pawar coming at the end is like 4 overs, 30 runs for 3 wickets. The number of wickets great, but the economy was not that great. So 121. So Strikers, again, I think I wouldn't say that it would have been a tough chase. They were under pressure. They've done it in the past, so I think they would have definitely been interested. It's one of those scores where you're not confident, but if you play well, a couple of good partnerships, you should be able to get it. Would have been the thoughts of Strikers. So that's how they started. The openers, Rahul and Nishant Patel, they had a partnership of 30 runs. And after that, quick wickets fell, and Ishant Patel he held the innings together along with Dinesh. Dinesh coming in supporting with 13 out of 28. Then there are a couple of decent enough supporting innings from Kishore and Rahul with 9 and 6 runs respectively. Then Amit and Binod Singh, they put in the fight with 17 out of 23. Then Binod Singh 14 from 19. I think the key was when Gino got Amit and Jagdeshwara got Binod Singh. so it all, I think those two strikes kept the strikers under the lid there. But the last 2 overs, just a quick attention to the last 2 overs, there were 14 runs needed, and Mahesh Babu comes and bowls the penultimate over and concedes only 4 runs. So I think big kudos to Mahesh Babu there. It's not easy to bowl the penultimate over for 4 runs. Then at the end, they needed, I believe, 10 runs after the last over. They needed 10 runs, and they considered Jagdishwara bowled a very good over, considered only 4 runs and got the last man out. Binod Singh bowled. So that's a big crucial thing there. So that Jagdishwara's final strike there. So a tight game, as we said, lived up to all the expectations. I personally believe it did. Detroit Bulls won with 6 runs. A tight game, probably the best game of the week. Not sure. In my view, best game of the week.
Okay, see, before I go to our next game, Detroit Bulls and FCC, these two are playing um, uh, to a level where a DCL league didn't expect them to play like this. Is what my opinion. Okay, and I'll just quickly go roundtable here, and whether you guys agree or not. Okay, I'll start with Imti. Do you agree with my statement?
Yes, Jagan, kind of. I do agree to your statement. Again, considering the fact that both the teams started off slow in the first games, they really did not perform up to the mark. But I think the curve since then, I think they're just going up with their performance. FCC had some very good wins under their belt in the last couple of weeks. Similar story with Detroit Bulls. I think Mahesh is really leading the team from the front and putting up those performances and helping the team win. So really heartwarming to see these two teams playing so well and giving some good competition.
Dinesh.
Yeah, no, I'm drawing comparison to the latest IPL which concluded, right? I'm thinking it's time for the newer teams to take over. I'm really happy for people like Mahesh Babu and MCC, these guys. No, I'm extremely excited for these guys. That's all I can say, and that's what it is. And it's always good to see these guys doing well.
Yeah, you have one of your picks of the weekend in this with Detroit Bulls. Okay, Abhi, what do you say?
So I'm always on the critics side. So I would Detroit Bulls, yes, definitely. They started playing very well this season right from the first game, and they consistently scored around 110, 120 plus. So it's a very good side, and the team itself is pretty confident. So I'd say I'll agree with you on Detroit Bulls, but whereas FCC, yes, they're in a very good, but I would say they are yet to beat a big team. So
They
I would say
already
yes.
beaten a big team, Raptors.
Yes, Raptors, yes. But
Yeah.
I would again, Jagan, Raptors, right? I mean, you take Amar out of the equation, the odds actually swing by your side. Not by the batsmen of Raptors. But again, I would say FCC. I would want them to see a convincing win with another big team. Any team again there's no big or small in this league, but I'm trying to see that play a close game and win that, so that we know that they can handle the pressure. So that's something that I haven't seen in FCC yet. They got convincing wins, but they've not been put to pressure and then come out of the pressure. Is what my thoughts are.
So you want to see a game like Detroit Bulls versus Strikers with
Yes, definitely.
FCC? Okay.
So that
Oh,
tested the pressure of the team, right? So.
yeah. So the next game of the night is Detroit Badshah versus Sterling Strikers. Both teams played what 20 overs. Okay. Your thoughts,
Yeah,
Abhi?
I mean, super confident teams. I mean, both the teams just played 20 overs. They thought 5 overs is not sufficient. I mean, not for 20 is more than sufficient for them. So good game to analyze. Game played at Woodhaven and Badshah choosing to bat after winning the toss. The openers, I felt, they did their job of providing a decent start of 33 runs partnership within just 6 overs. A start that any team would have taken on any day. Anwar Hussain scoring a quick 24 with 2 sixes, and Ahmed supporting with 15. Omar Tahir played well for his 18 before he got run out. Now, not sure what went wrong from this point on. Again, sadly, the over by over score sheet is not available, so there's not that I can pull out. Their middle order batsmen of Badshah completely collapsed. Too many runouts in this game as well, is from what I see from the score sheet. Mahmood scoring 16 at the end, helping the team reach 100 plus target. Psychologically relieving number. Well, again, like I said, if the score sheet was present, there would be a lot more stories that I would come out. But I believe it was Raza Ali who was the reason for his collapse, for the Badshah's middle order collapse. And Raza Ali is always at the top with his number of wickets every season. I mean, we always keep hearing his name in most of the games that we analyze for the Sterling strikers. I really wish he goes long. And 4 wickets again in this game from his 5 over spell. 2 more wickets from Jawad and Mansub surprisingly bowling low down the order, bagging a wicket. 17 runs for his spell is a bit too many runs for the quality of bowler he is. Now, 103 is a chase. It's always a tricky score because especially it would have the ball comes onto your bat pretty well, so you never know when to accelerate. But Sterling strikers had to start well, and their openers did just that. Zahid and Ali Abbas scoring 14 and 19 respectively. Raza Ali, a clear man of the match for me, scoring 32 runs, almost run a ball. Now, how good is this player? I mean, very effective with both bat and ball, and Jawad supporting in the end with his 12. The middle order of Sterling strikers collapsed a bit, probably a moment where Badshah could have, capitalized and probably made something, but it wasn't that too costly for Sterling strikers. I see the game was done by 20th over itself. Chasing 100 target. Badshah bowling was not up to the mark. I would say most of their bowlers going for a bit too many runs. Over to over scorecard could have given a lot more insight again here. 2 wickets to Abdul, who bowled low down the order. A good contest between both the teams. I think Raza Ali was the difference between these two teams. Had they seen his bowling off or got his wicket earlier, probably they would have standed a chance of winning this, ending up with a winning side. Sterling strikers moving up the table with second position with this win, and Badshah team literally pushed all the way down in Group A, so they really need points to start moving up the order. So good luck to both the teams.
Okay, before I go to the next game, quick update from CCL. Ford 111 for 7. They lost 2 quick wickets, and number of viewers, how the scorecard is increasing. Normally what happens is when a lot of people in Detroit, they don't like Ford because Ford has very good structure, especially with respect to cricket. So if whenever they are under pressure, you will see a lot of people watching that game. So
So Jagan, just for the benefit of our listeners, like where are this score getting updated? Like I don't know.
it's in Cricks Lab. Okay, that is the app they are using. Okay, Cricks Lab, just like our Crick clubs, they are using Cricks
slab,
Lab. Yeah,
slab as in a slab of whatever halwa.
Yeah, Cricks Lab. Okay,
Quick
and
slab or
score.
quick
Yeah,
slab, I don't know.
yeah. After 10 overs, Ford is 111 for 7. Another 10 overs to go, just with 3 wickets in hand. Vaibhav Khanna still playing, and he can turn things at any time. But in the last five overs, the viewership jumped from 132 or something like that to 310. Okay, that says okay, the interest is increasing on this game, and
I
let's see what
Jagan bro,
happens.
I thought that this was a T10 game, isn't it, or
Yeah,
T20?
T10. Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
a
It's a
T10
T10
game.
game. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I see. I have this T20 in my mind. So yeah, it is a T10 game. Yeah, the fourth innings is done. It's fourth score 111. Okay.
in 10
Okay.
overs.
Cool. Yeah. 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 In 10 hours, 111.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Okay. The next game of the night is United Raptors versus MI Rangers. Okay. Your thoughts, Imti?
Yes, Jagan. Again, this is a high-scoring game. Eventually, Raptors winning this convincingly with a margin of 38 runs. Raptors batting first again. This is like a day in day out for Amar. Like he just scored the bulk of the runs on the top of the innings, scoring 33 runs. Did not get much support from his opening partner Gagan or nor Kiran. But then again, it was to Pradeep in the middle order that partnered with Amar and put some score. Pradeep Angiru stayed not out until the end, scoring 25 runs from 39 balls. But I think the main difference in the scorecard is down the order from Ajit, who scored a quick 541 from 18 balls, which included two fours and four sixers. And if you look at the over by over scorecard, I think the last 6 overs they were able to score close to 60, 65 runs, and I think eventually that kind of shifted the momentum towards Raptors going into the second innings. If we talk about the bowling from my Rangers, pick up the bowlers, Abdullah Reddy, 3 wickets, but on the expensive side, giving like 7 runs per over almost. Then a couple of wickets shared between Anil and Vijay. Uh, Vijay really bowled well, completing his 5 over quota for just 8 runs and taking 2 wickets. But again, like all the other bowlers, kind of going for some runs. Another interesting factor is again 12 extras, 2 extra overs. Always that could have been the difference in the end because the last few overs went for a lot of runs. United Raptors scoring 138, obviously a very formidable total. Going into chase, MI Rangers I thought really responded well, even though they lost their star batsman Abhilash quickly. I think the partnership between Anil and Venkatesh steadied the innings, close to 40-run partnership, and halfway down innings they were like in a very comfortable stage around 50 for 2. At this stage, it was like very evenly poised, but I think after the break, that is when the gates kind of opened and MI just lost their way in the chase. Again, like the 14th, 15th, and 16th overs really changed the whole course of the game, where they lost 5 wickets in those 3 overs, which includes a 3 wicket over from Gagan, and I think that completely changed the course of the game, and it was like a very smooth going from there for Raptors from there on. Even though Vijay Kumar down the order scored some runs, scoring 24 from 12 balls, which includes four sixers. So all his runs are sixers basically there. But again, I think it was too late in the innings and really not having wickets in hand, I think, costed the game for MI Rangers. It would have been interesting if they could have saved some wickets because they were really doing well until halfway through the innings, but they lost their way in the second half of their batting and costed the game. Pick up the bowlers for Raptors, Gagan Singh taking 4 wickets in his 4 overs, well supported by Ajit, Ashok, and Vignesh picking 2 wickets each. Overall, a convincing win for Raptors, but it would have been interesting to see if MI Rangers could have really shown some resistance down the order in that batting. So, hard luck, but I think it was overall a very good game.
Yeah, MI Rangers did well, scoring 100 and with losing, though they lost all the wickets, they still have four overs, and which could have, changed game anyway.
Exactly, I
Okay.
think that's the point. Yeah, if they had their wickets in hand, I think with
Yeah.
24 balls, it could have been anything. Yes.
Yeah. And the next game of the night is Rising Stars versus SSK. SSK is also another team that is impressing. Uh, uh, but the only issue I see with SSK is, the number of wickets they are losing. They are losing wickets in bunch. Your thoughts, Dinesh?
Yeah, so this one pretty interesting. Rising Stars won the toss and elected to bat first. Nothing much to write about from the openers there. Sachin and Sachin got out early. Then Sukun along with the Jigar Patel, they stitched together a 19-run partnership until Sukun got out. Happy to see Sukun. I know this guy personally to open the batting. I'm really happy for this guy. Then after Jigar Patel, there was not much support. Dawal, Ravi, and Harsh were the only decent enough contributions, but no other double-digit contributions at all. So Jigar Patel was the mainstay, and SSK ended up using 6 bowlers before the 7th bowler came on because the 6 bowlers could not get Jigar Patel out. And the trump card, Lingappan brings himself on and gets Jigar Patel. So that's wonderful. Great to see Lingap in the thick of things. 2 overs, 9 runs for 3 wickets. Very happy to see him, coming in and performing. I think one of the other previous matches, he did open the batting as well. So happy to see Lingappa and people like Yogesh Bhai and Javas Bhai and all of these, the so-called captains, not just organizing and performing and trying to get into the mix of things. We're very happy to see that. So nothing much to write about for Rising Stars other than Jigar Patel. Very well done. 23 out of 34 with 2 fours. They folded for 60 runs in 18.3 overs. Easy enough chase it should have been for SSK. As Jagan Bro mentioned, it is a little bit of a concern that they are losing this many wickets for the kind of experience they have. But end of the day, they know how to win close games. All of them have been pretty tight for SSK this season, but they find a way out of the storm and come out on the winning side. So opening Vinod and Venkat, 17 runs partnership. After that, Vinod fell, then decent enough partnership between Venkat and Yuvraj. Yuvraj is where, he's a solid DCL type batter with a lot of offside shots, and he did steady the innings. So Yuvraj and Venkat gave better direction to the innings. Vikas and Tejeshwar gave a little bit of support. Then eventually Bala Manikandan comes and finishes things off in style. 15 from 12 balls with a strike rate of 125. Rising Stars bowling. Nothing much. Diman Patel did bowl well, considering it was SSK 5 overs, 15 runs, and he took 3 wickets there. But other than that, nothing much to write about for Rising Stars. Better luck next time for Rising Stars. SSK, congrats, number 2 in the table. So massive. The win wasn't massive, but in terms of the points table, it did take them to the second place. So major kudos and congrats to SSK.
Okay, before we go to our next game, I want to explain why I thought it is a 20-over game. I'm talking about CCL, because the app showed a projected score of 200 plus, okay, 250 or something like that. When I checked last time, okay, when Ford was playing. So that is the reason I thought another 10 overs are there. So, but so there's something wrong with this app.
Yeah.
It looks like
No.
game stopped at this time
Oh,
because
okay.
uh, they added one ball to 4 innings, like 10.1 overs, 112. Okay, there's something. So this app looks like they didn't set it up for 10 hours match T10. It
Yeah.
looks like they set it up for T20, so probably they might be working on that. But
Yeah.
that's pure my guess. And
Yeah.
with that, I'll go to our next game: Dark Horses versus Tri Hawks. And as expected, Tri Hawks won it very easily, but losing 3 wickets is definitely a questionable thing. Probably they might be in a hurry to, uh, you know, uh, score quickly and leave. And your thoughts, Abhi?
Yeah, I mean, Dark Horses, things they're just having a series of bad games, and the odds were definitely there with the Tri-Hawks, but the game was not expected to be this one-sided. Dark Horses winning the toss and electing to bat. The opening and the top order didn't have much to contribute at all from the Dark Horses batsmen. Aman scoring only 1 after playing 24 balls. That it looks like they themselves put pressure on themselves, and they dug a hole and then nothing came out of it. Things continued to be bad for the middle order as well. Anuj Sharma, only batsman on the scoring side with 13 runs from 30 balls. And Hawks bowlers, on the other hand, were right on top. The top 2 bowlers did most of the work for the team. Abhilash Dandamudi, excellent spell from him. 4 wickets in his five overs with just 9 runs. Santosh, although he just bowled 2 overs, he considered only 2 runs with 2 wickets. So all the other bowlers were very economical, picked up wicket each at the end. And Hawks, they just at 37 as target. Not the start they were expecting. Pradeep Kondareddy getting out for zero, and probably in the first over, I think the fourth ball which Pankaj just bowled. A pain that I share with him when chasing a low score. And, getting out on the third or fourth ball and then going back with your head down with a zero. Nataraj and Shashidhar, two of the most experienced batsmen for Troy Hawks, both best batsmen, did most of the scoring. 13 for Nataraj and 17 from Shashidhar. And both these batsmen almost took them home, but I guess Jagan mentioned that they might have gone for runs at the end, which probably and both of them ended up losing their wickets. Four bowlers used by dark horses. Pankaj Watts, the captain, taking the ball to bowl the first over. Very good effort from him to picking up the wicket of Pradeep on the fourth ball and just conceding 1 run in the first over. And very good economy on this 4 over spell as well. And picked up 2 wickets in total. But the other three bowlers, although they didn't have much score to defend, they were a lot more expensive. When you're expected to bowl tighter lines when the score is so low. But I probably would have assumed that the morale was so down that they probably didn't care much. A good convincing win for Hawks, and problems getting bad by every game for dark horses. And I hope to see them to get that one win which changes their momentum. So just waiting for that. So good luck both the teams.
Okay, and the last game of the night is Dynamites versus Thunderbolts. Okay, I'm going to take this game tonight, and I'll do it in my style. I'm not expert like you guys, and when analyzing the games. Okay, so whenever you're playing under the lights, chasing is always difficult. That's one thing. Okay, and so when you're chasing 97 runs, and getting out in not playing 25 hours is a big sin. That's what Thunderbolts did. And the another thing I want to talk about is when you're chasing 97, and if you have three ducks up front in top 4 5 batsmen, that's it. I know the game is gone there. Yet
Yep.
the captain of Thunderbolts, he fought till the end to get it at least to 78. And with that, I'll get into the game now. Dynamites, I think they batted first and they won the toss and elected to bat. And Murugan Vishwanathan, Arun Selvaraj, and Sai Gogineni, these are the uh, healthy contributions from Dynamites. Okay. And when it comes to bowling, uh, everybody bowled decently with the exception of Prabhat Krishnamurthy, who bowled just 1 run, and he gave up 11. And in DCL with this 1228 ball, 97, and um, this is good. Gautam just he gave 6 runs per over, but anything around 4 5 is acceptable with this ball 1228, and that's it. Other um, uh, you know it's average bowling. It's not even average, it's good bowling, because they contain dynamites to 97, which is anytime chaseable is what I guess. And when Thunderbolt started, you know other than Vinod, if you look at Kannan Duck, Jafar Duck, Ashwin Duck. Okay, and at the end there is a Murli Karthik Duck, and I mean there was another guy not out. Uh, I normally, these are the stats for me. Jagan not out, 0. Okay, these are my stats. But if you look at the bowling, everybody bowled really well with the exception of Venkat Govindarajan. Venkat Govindarajan ended up giving 21 runs in 2 overs, but he's one of the top-notch bowlers in my opinion, but I don't know
Yep.
what happened that day. But he's wonderful bowler, and probably every bowler will have one game where you know everything goes wrong. And my good friend Suresh Balakrishnan, after very long gap, he showed what he is. He used to do this. I mean, when we were young. Okay, I'm not calling Suresh not young, but you know when we were young, he used to take wickets like in bunch like this. This is about the overall game. And as you guys said, it's the game that Dynamites won thanks to Suresh Balakrishnan. He is the one who won the game for them, is what I'm guessing. Apart from Arun also bowled really well. Okay, and with that we have completed all the games tonight, and we will meet next week. And um, uh, before I go for closing words, I'll give update about CCL. GM is chasing 112. They already lost one wicket, and they have they lost a very big wicket. Shahnaz Ahmed, is that Sha- Shahnawaz? Shahnawaz got out. Okay, Shahnawaz Ahmed. He's the only one we know from GM, and apart from, there's another name, popular name that DCL knows, Akash Nambudri. These are the two names that at least I know. Remaining all from GM, I don't know anybody. But yes, right now 11 for 1, second over going on. And with that, I'll go to last words uh, to the analysts. And please watch, please support CCL, because this is the game that is happening in a stadium. Okay, so somebody is building a stadium for cricket, means we all have to, as cricketers, we all have to, cricket lovers, we all have to support them, so that we will see big games coming to Detroit. Okay, with that, I'll go to Imti. Imti, are you there? We lost Imti, and okay, I'll go to Dinesh.
Yeah, so big kudos to CCL there. Softball, baseball stadium under lights. It is 360, and I saw first couple of overs. I think one was timed. There was a bye which went over the keeper. There was great bounce, went over for 4. The outfield is great. You get value for shots. So what else? Live commentary, and it was good to see different camera angles. The coverage is good for a game right down here in Utica. So as Jagan Bro mentioned, maybe who knows, right? Down the road, we might end up having DCL finals there under the lights with the stadium packed. Is what my hope is. So we'll see. Again, big cricket lovers like us, it is a big thing, and I was excited throughout from the day they announced this and what all they were doing. So congrats to CCL and everyone playing there. Closing words, I have the points table for the season in front of me. Still, Indus, Glads, and Troy Hawks have not lost a game. Each have played 5, and they've not lost any, so that's great. And I'm looking at the pool C. That seems to be the pool of death there. A lot of expectations were put into, Safaris, Legends, and even Dynamites and Thunderbolts. All of them need to bounce back for the remainder of the season. Great work by SSK. They remain number 2 in Group B. GLCC on the top of the table there with Strikers and Detroit Bulls in 3 and 4. Pool A, Indus Thunder, Sterling Strikers, United Raptors, FCC, and Hawks. So FCC and Hawks, great congrats, especially FCC for being the top of, at 4. So all of that being said, good luck to all the teams after the break. Hope they get more energy and come back with a bang.
Okay, Abhi.
Thank you again to all the listeners for tuning in. Please keep coming, which encourages us to do a lot more better. A long weekend coming up ahead. Time for most of you to travel or spend time with the family. Travel, be safe. We'll join back next week with predictions and more analysis. Thank you, Jagan, Imti, and Dinesh. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Let's see you all next week.
Yeah, thank you all, guys, and thank you, listeners. Be safe, long weekend. Enjoy the long weekend and support CCL, and with the hope of bringing international crickets to Detroit. So let's all come together and support this CCL, especially stadium style game. With that, I'll end tonight's show. Thank you.